Welcome to 𝐕𝐈𝐎𝐋𝐄, a visibility podcast celebrating queer love and exploring life experiences, representation, and busting queer myths. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
My name is Sasha, and welcome to this podcast.
And I'm your beautiful mess, Matilda. Hi.
Hello, I'm Luca. Hi, Biggie here.
I'm Amor, DJ Amor with a little bit of melanin.
Marisa, your girl, the animal lover.
Yeah, so today we are talking IPV. What do you think IPV is?
Of course, interpersonal violence.
Intrapersonal violence.
Actually, IPV is intimate partner violence. So maybe someone could tell us what they understand by the term intimate partner violence.
Intimate partner violence to me is that violence between two partners. Intimate partners sharing like a relationship, could be a sexual relationship, but as long as it's intimate, it's between two people and there's violence. That's IPV, yeah, to me.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think that is it. Do you want to add on?
When I hear intimate, I feel maybe there's this relation that is beyond the agape love, and there's lots of things involved, and then there's that violence. So I feel like it may be violence between two people who love each other, who are in love with each other. So I don't know how love plays in this thing.
Basically, intimate partner violence is violence that is perpetuated by someone's partner. You get?
Yeah.
I was just going to say that violence and abuse, they're a bit different, but then they bring out the same effect. Yeah? Because if you're in a relationship with someone, that is abuse. Physically, they are punching you, or like they're emotionally telling you you're ugly. Yeah.
So this is sad to say, but a lot of us have experienced or had stories of intimate partner violence. So I'd like us today to talk about this. I'd like us to share the experiences of intimate partner violence that have either happened to us or that we've seen happen to other people we know.
Okay, me individually, I have perceived it in different ways. I don't know if I've experienced it, I won't lie, but I've seen it in different ways. I've seen situations whereby a person is told, you don't have to work, you can stay home and take care of me, and it's okay, everyone understands that it's okay, it's the deal. But then when the other person needs help from the other individual, especially if it needs money, at the end of the day, if you do this, I won't give it to you. But if you do what I need you to, then I'll do what? I'll give it to you. So Sanganga, there's that control issue, that manipulation issue of the fact you have something that I actually want, but then for you to give it to me, I have to go by the conditions, courtesy of the fact that I already am in love with you or committed with you. That's some violence that I've seen that happens a lot. I think they call it economical. Yeah, that one. I've seen that one vivid.
Also that economic violence can come where if let's say you refuse to give someone some, in the evening. Be like, you're mad, there's this violence where someone how you're not worth it. Now kugamba how, like, I can't believe I'm dating a kid like you. These things, actually someone say those things to me when we were dating. They would be like, I can't believe I'm in a relationship with a child. And in my head I'll be like, I'm a child because you're used to dating older women, so maybe that's why I'm a child. But it would be in the sense of like mind wise, like emotionally, just because alikumanyira. Imagine go bamanyira, but then they expect you to be the one who's grounded and be the one who
do all these things.
Yeah, those things emotionally fuck you up, and then you start looking at yourself in this image of like you're not worth it. Whereby you just put your head down and be like, I'm sorry. That is so wrong.
When everyone was defining IPV, I had no idea what it was. Like when we decided to have this topic and then everyone said IPV, I was like, what is IPV? It was like something strange. But I have gone through it. But I actually did not know that it's called IPV, and I don't think I'm the only one. Because you don't know where to place it. Is it domestic violence? Is it But personally I have been through IPV in most of my relationships, especially the emotional, like where someone doesn't like abuse you or but like someone does things and you feel like
physically.
No, like it's not physical,
Emotionally.
like emotional, like you feel you're drained emotionally. But I have been through it, and I'm actually happy that this topic has come up because now I know it's actually called IPV. Well, it's been like a lot of emotional, especially in my past relationships. Like for example, I was dating this person who did not want to introduce me like to family. So every time I would be at their home and maybe a family member is coming, then I would be like displaced. So I would have to like find where to go. Yeah,
hard, right?
yeah.
It's
Like
really
one
sad.
time on my birthday, I had a treat. The person had paid for me a birthday treat, and then I went, and while I was at the parlor, the beauty parlor, I'm done and I'm calling. I'm saying, please come and pick me. And this person is telling me, my sister is home. Please wait. So the parlor closed, and I had to sit outside for like 3 hours because I could not go home. My kids were at my person's place. I had to wait for the sister to leave before I visit. Yeah, so and now it actually makes sense. That is IPV.
Speaking of which, I wanted to add something like similar has happened to me. So I also had this person I was dating, and every time a brother or sister came along, they would tell me, you know what, my sister is coming, so please first go. I'll call you. It is so sad. It plays with your self-esteem because you start to wonder why this person doesn't want to show you off, because we all know when you're in love with someone, you want to show them off to people. So you know, it plays with your self-esteem. But also, and the sad part is for abusers whose tool is emotional abuse, they don't consider it abuse because they are not physically hurting you. So they'll be like, "Nze sikuba mukazi, nze I'm good. I am one of the good people. I don't beat." But forgetting that the emotional abuse they are taking you through is worse. If, for instance, the person reminds you about how they are taking care of you and how they are giving you shelter, about how no one can love you but me, and then the next day they are pampering you with gifts, they are abusing you, and it is such a cycle that by the end of the relationship, if you decide to move on, your self-esteem is really, really flawed.
So I am a masculine lesbian, but when I talk about physical abuse, everyone laughs at me. You know, that how can you as Biggie be slapped? I've experienced someone hitting me, and I kept thinking that, oh, she's just a lady, oh, we are ladies, it's okay, we'll deal with it. But the moment it continued coming in, until I realized that this was becoming, you know, if you take in the first slap, just know you've started the journey of abuse. So by the time I realized that this is not working for me, it was too late. I faced that, and by the time it took me a while to speak about it, because how would I say that a mole has been abusing me, Biggie, who is my masculine? So many people go through that. They don't know it's violence. Another thing I want to talk about is emotional effects. So normally, since any abuse is not physical, there's no evidence for you abusing the other party. It can easily be mistaken for not abuse. I realize that it's abuse. Both sides, sometimes you will find yourself not in sexual mode and your person is in sexual mode. So that person will always torment you for the fact that you didn't give them sex during that period of time. But there's that period when you want to have sex and they don't want to have sex. So they will only say you wanted to have sex because you are horny, and yet forgetting that we all can get aroused at different times. So that is also part of both sexual and emotional abuse I have experienced, or my friends have shared with me.
Like when you say about the video, because if you want, because someone atere so obusungu, you didn't give them what, kumba you had reasons. For example, you're from your peers. Sometimes your punani is not okay. So this person will aja kunyigira wowe segero
Just not in the mood to
or
have
even
sex.
that
Just
you
that
get
is okay.
Yes, but then someone will make you feel like sex is the only thing like matters. It does matter, but then if I'm not in the mood, mind chakola. Also, Biggie, there's something that you said. I wanted to ask you. If me, my side, when kukuba, if I beat you, I think it's also hard for you to even report it, because like people will look at you and be like, evidence first. There's no way a more can lift you.
They will definitely judge.
Because you leave me to kukuba because out of respect, and then you might actually call you in.
Yes. And yet a mermaid carry Biggie and you do not know it's possible.
Yeah, I was checking it.
No.
But because out of respect, Big is trying to be like, when I am more like in my head, but you know you're there, yeah, what?
But also, maybe to add on to that, the thing is, Also, Biggie may fear to talk about it in public because no one will believe her. Because no one would believe a small-bodied Amor is beating up a big-bodied and masculine-presenting Biggie. You get? So a lot of times, especially for masculine-presenting lesbians, they fear to say this out because no one would believe them. Also, they feel like their ego would be bruised. I also want to talk about the sexual abuse. A lot of times, just like I said in the emotional abuse, a lot of times people think that sexual abuse is only rape. But if you are guilt-tripping someone into having sex with you, you're abusing them. If, for instance, you want sex and then this person doesn't want, you start talking about, for me, when you want, I give you. For me, the last time I gave you when I didn't want. You get mad, you refuse to cuddle that night, maybe you refuse to eat their food or to give them food, you get it, and maybe the next day you're in silent treatment. The next time you ask for sex, that person might be forced to give it to you, but not because they want or because they are actively participating, but because they don't want you to get mad. There is a lot of sexual abuse, by the way, going on, and a lot of times we don't even know that it's happening.
I wanted to react so bad, like my whole body was itching me, like even my vagina. But like I wanted to say, okay, yeah, it's true. It's true that yes, people are at fault when they do that and that. Yeah, I get the whole thingy. But I also want you to keep in mind that some of us are sensitive, sensational beings, and that is who we are. Whether you understand it or not, I just want you to know. The thing is that you cannot also patronize people for being so sexual or sensitive or sensational.
No, I don't think anyone is
No, you
doing
can.
that.
No, what? No, I have been through an extent whereby someone is saying, oh, the way you see it is this, or the way you do this is this, or well, the fact is some people don't choose their personalities. If someone forces into something, that is wrong. But you also if you patronize someone for being who they are, and it's not even trying to get you in any way or coerce you, and it's only about them, that is also wrong. You're actually doing that emotional abuse towards them, because now I have to feel like I have to hide or pretend to be who I'm not supposed to be towards an individual.
As much as I've realized we've all been victims of IPV, we have also played a part of IPV our partners. Because the more we go into this discussion, I realize we've all talked about sexual libido, and personally, my libido is also not very, very active. But then there are times when I tell my partner, like, look, you don't want to give me some, you when you want, I give you, So I'm like, okay, I should not play victim. I should now also reflect, because it seems I've also, contributed to IPV on someone else's life.
Marisa raises a very pertinent issue. The thing is, it's not that there are abusers on this side and victims on this side. All of us can be abusers and all of us can be victims. The truth of the matter is, when we talk about IPV, when you sit down and think about it, we have abused our partners in one way or another. We are having this discussion so that we look into ourselves and make ourselves better.
True.
Because trust me, all of us have things we've done that are abusive our partner. For me, I usually just do silent treatment. So like I just want to be quiet until my anger has subsided, even if the person is willing to talk about it. So yes, this is a work in progress. You sit down, evaluate yourself, and see where to become better.
You talked about guilt tripping, right? Like silent treatment. Now the problem with me is that I didn't think I would ever lay my hand on anybody until silent treatment happened. I'm one of those people who, I want you to tell me what's up. One day or two. But then if you don't talk to me, it means you're not going to talk. Well, Sirika, and then I try to ask you what is wrong, and then you don't tell me what is wrong. No sigarango Sirika. Kati musungu wange, yinza okubuuza bubi. Now nonzira mu bubi, ate nendekanya like, why the fuck are you talking to me like that? Then it's like, it's like a whole war now.
Ate that ka silent treatment, nga nkagala nnyo.
Kaluma mkwano, kakukubya. Kaluma, for real.
So as we talk about, I think I've realized that almost all of us have done there's something common in this room, that so many people like silent treatment. But it's a two-way. I, for one, as a champion, a GBV champion, I've experienced and I've had people share with me violence by people in power or vice versa. People in power abusing power, abusing their inferiors, and also vice versa. Some people they can sexually abuse, it may not be you in a relationship, but because they sexually abuse you because they have power over you or they are your bosses, they will abuse you in so many ways by making comments or touching you inappropriately. But you can also do the same to your bosses. It's a two-way thing. So maybe if we can talk about now how we've managed to deal with intimate partner violence. Maybe you as a person or the peers that have talked to you or individuals who have walked to you and shared with you issues they have gone through. Besides you sending them to counselors, what have we done? Is there anything that someone wants to share that they have done to help someone?
There was a time when me and my partner got into this weird fight. I don't know what sparked it off, but all I know is they made me feel like I was stupid. So I kind of banged their head like talk to me like I wanted them to talk to me and explain what they meant. So I realized that this IPV accompanied a lot of anxiety, and then also there was this thing where I feel like I anticipate or newayiriza oli omuntu ndi musoma bulala, but because I'm not talking to them, I don't know what is happening. So that thing gets me anxiety, and I don't like being anxious.
So you're saying with the fact that you don't talk, the silent treatment affects you. It causes anxiety, emotional stress because someone is not talking to you or you're not talking to the person.
Yes.
Okay.
As much as we are giving all these examples, like for example the silent treatment, to another individual who is providing that silent treatment, it may be them coping, and in that means of coping, they're actually hurting you. I feel like there's a solution. Like for example, for me to avoid punching you in the face, or maybe seeing your blood flow in my hands, or maybe saying something that may hurt you, or whatever stupid shit that we may actually have when we black out with anger, we try to just shut up until we get over it. And then, but the problem is that in that process is that I am actually quiet, but then you wanting me to talk, it's hurting you and I can't talk. So there's that dilemma.
That's a very big challenge. However, before someone comes in with that, let me share some of the effects I've experienced due to intimate partner violence. There's one time I had a gift of Rolex, not the Rolex, not the chapati, not the Ugandan Rolex with eggs, chapati and eggs, but a Rolex watch. I was in my vacation. So what happened is that my partner didn't know, I had not explained to her that someone gifted me a Rolex watch. So she didn't say nothing when she saw the watch. She didn't ask and I didn't talk about it. I just kept quiet. So I think she had this anger for a long time. And then at one point it triggered. We had an exchange. So what she did, she got the Rolex watch and threw it on the floor.
Oh my!
I almost died, but the effect of such is that I slapped my partner. The last time I laid my hands on her partner, I slapped her. She hit her head on a triple decker. So she hit herself on the metal. Good enough, nothing happened to her. But I was forced to run out of the house because I couldn't believe that was me. I ran out of the house. I stayed away for 1 week. She looked for me. And afterwards, I returned back home. But you can imagine what has happened to other people. For me, I had never laid hands on her. But on that day, I did slap her. And that was the last time I slapped a partner. I think right now it's around 20 years ago.
Didn't that scare you? Because
it did scare me because I realized she would. I thought she was badly hurt, but she kept coming back, like wanting me and stopping me from going. But I decided to force myself out, walk away for some days, and returned for us to speak about it.
I think what happens is because I remember the time someone slapped me. I kept asking them to like talk to me, tell me. Like when you push somebody, I think they get mad, but it's not an excuse to hate somebody, right?
But you see, that is the thing about IPV. Like most people keep it in. Like you're not telling anyone about what's happening in your relationship and how you're facing all these different forms of IPV. And then one day you will blow up, like totally and completely blow up. Like what Biggie said, like probably she had been tucking it in for a very long time, and then she realized like boom, she had blown up. But for me, I think from the few instances I have seen, like of my friends and I think it just builds depression. Like over time, you're getting depressed slowly, and you don't know. So for me, I think one of the effects of IPV is depression.
Speaking of mental health, a lot of times these partners, especially the victims in IPV, lose their self-esteem. They get stressed, and sometimes, if in cases of emotional violence where there's no physical evidence, sometimes they even look very happy on the outside when they're dying inside. So sometimes you can't even come in to help or give advice where it's needed. But I also think the other effect is of shaping your other relationships, especially if the relationship where that is happening is a long-term relationship. Because imagine, for instance, this person has been made to believe that they can only be good if they are cooking and cleaning, even when they hate it, and if they kneel down and, be subordinate. In their next relationships, when they walk away from this abusive one, they are still going to go with the trauma and the after effects of that abuse they endured in their previous relationships, and that can cause a lot of problems for the next relationship. But I feel like a lot of times when we get in relationships with people, they have been shaped, their idea of a relationship has been shaped by the people that they've dated before. So if the people that have dated before have been abusive, this person is very much likely going to bring their toxicity into a new relationship that could thrive.
Some of the lessons learned from abuse is the fact that it holds both positive and negativity after that particular relationship. Your present relationship or experiences will have an effect on your next relationship, both positive and either positive or negative. Because for me, after that slap, I realized that I will never ever lay my hand on anyone's child, and I will never ever let anyone lay a hand on me. And through solutions, we will share how we have maneuvered through such kind of situations. What do I want to say? I want to tell people that it can be both negative and positive. You may decide not to ever do that like I decided, but for some people, they might want to be worse than they have been in this current relationship. They get to another relationship, they act actually worse than they were in this one. So we need to find solutions for such kind of situations.
Biggie, do you think they want to be worse? Because I feel like that statement of they want to be worse.
Emotions are different. You see, let me give you an example of my ex, the one I slapped. Maybe after our relationship, she may have decided to retaliate in every situation that she goes through. Or maybe she has learned that retaliation physically might never yield results. So it's a two-way thing. She may want to decide that after being slapped by Biggie that time, I will never let nobody walk away. I will try to fight. Yes, she was fighting, but I stopped the fight. Imagine if I continued, if I retaliated after that slap, would have gotten into, maybe one of us would have been dead then. But then, what am I saying is she might choosing what to be after depends on how vulnerable she's been. She could decide to continue protecting herself or provoking each and everyone who treats her like who she's suspicious of. Or she would be like, I want to be different. I will wait, or I will ask. Maybe she will use another means of dealing with whatever suspicion she has in her relationships. Because she just saw a watch, she did not ask, What if she had asked? You see, those different ways through which people cope after a particular relationship. They might continue with that relationship or might get into another relationship.
I was looking for that word, that specific word, cop. It's actually, you gave the right statement. I was looking for that word. It's what I wanted to react to. So you gave it. So yeah.
What Vicky was saying, it's more of like when you are abused so many times, or even one time, like Vicky said, you get it, but it's a guard. You put a guard, or like you tell yourself, from today onward, nobody is gonna.
You could become mute to violence, or you might decide to react to each and every person who hurts you.
Now me, I became the opposite. I told myself, this is the last relationship where I'm going to get hurt. So all my relationships, I try to fight back. Not like physically, but I try to set the rules for once. Pick up me for once. Yeah.
But you see, that's when I appreciate the services that I get from Farouk, like the services of a counselor. Because for me in the past, when I have IPV, all I do is walk away. Like, I won't quarrel, I will give you so many times, but then walk away. But then now, like how you say the depression and everything, you just appreciate Farouk. Because as an LBQ woman, you can't go to any other counselor and say, look, I'm going through IPV. But you can come to Farouk and talk to a counselor who knows that I am an LBQ woman. So for me, I really appreciate the services, and personally, I want to share this number with anyone who has had an IPV issue or is going through IPV, and instead of building up on that anger and depression and everything, just call 0800-100093. I'll repeat, 0800-100093. It's 24/7. You talk to a counselor, and this is a counselor who understands that you're an LBQ woman, and they will listen and they will help you.
And you're not alone, yeah.
Yes, speaking of help, and the solutions maybe, and how we can go about all these solutions to IPV, I think that we should remind people that many people think it's a misconception that IPV happens only in heterosexual relationships. Also, as we are looking at solutions, can we keep in mind that many LGBTI people in our community face barriers, like they fear to come out and speak about their violence because they fear exposing themselves to people or counselors. Yeah, they also don't know any friendly assistance or resources that they could go to. At the same time, there is potential homophobia. Yeah, you think maybe if I go to this counselor or if I go to the police station, I may be forced with homophobia. And they also lack that confidence. Like Biggie had said, that many people, you're willing to follow up on a case, but people actually fear to speak up. They say, you know what, I think I might be putting my partner in danger, she's maybe a CEO of this, or she's, and they fear putting their partners on the line, so they choose to keep away. Yeah. Also, there is a lack of confidence in the police or places where they go to report these cases. So, because they think these officers are not really sensitive to their cases, I think we should think in lines of those challenges as we offer solutions.
Okay. Okay. I will share one of the incidences that was shared to me as a GBV champion. One of us was raped, so she took the initiative to report to police. She did report to police, and the police were eager to take up that case because that was one of a kind. So many LBQ women or LBQ persons have been raped, have experienced violence, but they never want to expose the perpetrators. So she put up the case, the case was registered through our paralegal who sits at our organization, and so she started following up on this case. In the middle of the case, the person withdrew because she believed that this person is a friend. Often the LBQ persons are abused or raped by their own friends. Even when police wants to give support, they are not willing to give up all the information. So what am I saying? Solutions to this is that please be confident. Speak about the issue. Even when you don't want a perpetrator to be held accountable, can we share, find solutions through which we can support you emotionally? But I dream of that time when we will put perpetrators to books, when we call them out, when we put them to jail, when we jail our own friends who pretend to be our friends and yet sexually they want to abuse us. That moment when a lesbian who beats up another lesbian is held accountable for their actions. For me, I believe we have so much support that is available for whoever is going through intimate partner violence. I, for one, have been an abuser, maybe in one way. I have been a victim, yes, in one way, and now I am a champion against intimate partner violence. So I would want to help each and everyone out there. So whoever is going through hard time, you want to speak to a counselor. Some people don't want to speak to counselors, but Farouk has 2 counselors in space for you 24 hours to speak to. But also us as individuals who have shared our stories here, please reach out if you want to through the number that was shared with you so that we can work something out.
I was going to say, I know it's hard for you to come and talk to someone about these things, but the only comforting thing that you should know is you're not the only one who goes through these things. There's so many of us out there who are maybe, let me say, strong enough to come on these podcasts and share how the things we've gone through. But if you're not able to, just listen to the podcast and maybe you can relate. And also you can always talk to somebody. I know there's always that one person. That one person you can just sit and share something. And also make sure when there's violence in your home, take photos or talk to somebody. Maybe if there's a report to make.
Once in a while.
That's also okay. I talk to my mirror. I be like Amor. So talk to somebody. If you can't talk to somebody, you can talk to yourself by writing down in a notebook. Yeah, it reminds you of your failures and everything. But don't ever feel alone. Farouk is here and we're all here. We've gone through the same things. Maybe try to go, or maybe we can relate. Yeah,
So also, I want to let you know that so many LBQ persons or LGBT persons in Uganda fear police. But I want to let you know that we have had different trainings of police officers to tell them about our stories. I personally have shared stories with different police officers to make them understand that people like me exist, or people who are lesbians, who are bisexuals, who are transgender persons, and also gay men exist. So knowing how and understanding how to deal with them is quite important. So don't fear police. When you're going through a certain situation, please share with us who don't fear, who can approach them. Maybe your case will be heard. Don't even die. Don't die in your house when someone is treating you like trash. We also have a legal aid desk here. You can always call on the same number. On the same number, that is 0800-100-093. I repeat, you call on a toll-free number which is 0800-1093. It's 24 hours, someone is going to listen to you. Someone will help you. Someone will speak for you. Someone will fight with you.
And also as an LBQ woman, for me, I think this is I challenge our networks to come up with a desk where people can bring their cases. Yes, we have also all these other legal aid clinics, but also like a network, like where people can come and everyone is confident that if you're facing domestic violence, if you're facing IPV, if like you can go to and it will be resolved there.
Yeah. So for me, everyone is talking about the legal aid desk, the counseling, and I would like to talk about before you come to us. Maybe sometimes you feel like what you're going through is hard. Also, no. So everyone is talking about the legal aid desk and the counseling, and what the help they're offering is for the victims. But I would like to talk to the perpetrators. I know that sometimes the perpetrators also want to stop what they're doing, because sometimes they don't feel good when they hurt the people they love or they claim to love. So for me, I would like to give this small advice. When you feel like you need to learn to calm yourself down, so you need to learn practicing calming exercises when you are in a high stress situation, so that you don't end up hurting someone. You get? Because even if you hurt that person and they get help, they'll still hold it against your head that you hurt them. We need to learn how to keep calm in high stress situations. We can find this information on Google. You can find it on our website, www.𝐕𝐈𝐎𝐋𝐄𝐍𝐂𝐄. You can find this information even on our socials that will be told to you later. Learn how to keep yourself calm in high stress situations. You can start with the simplest: breathe in and breathe out. Just breathe in and breathe out. Trust me, you will not regret.
In addition to our beautiful Sasha telling us how to keep composure, which is not easy for some of us, I want to let you know that at times when I've done that breathe in, breathe out, the more I do it, the more I want to punch someone in the face. Probably get a dagger or something. I usually move with a knife, FYI. So, don't worry, I don't have it right now. Anyway, there are certain things that you can do that can help you out. You have to learn that when you have that whole anger blackout, like for example, Biggie, in a scenario where you got so angry that you slapped someone without knowing, it's because you got into that anger blackout. You didn't know what to do. That happens to us. I've been told most times, you've punched me, you've done. I'm also someone whereby if I'm angry, because I'm used to the scenario of, oh, she cries. There are times when actually you can actually sob out and then you black out and all that stuff. What I'm trying to say is that learn what to do when you're actually in that scenario where you can't help it. Because you can't hurt someone and make it justifiable because you actually were blacked out, because you are mad. Let's learn it. What might work for Sasha of breathe in, breathe out may not work for me. Whoever may try it may not work for them. Whoever goes, like, we have different things. Let's learn what to do. You may make fun of the anger management and all that stuff, but it will teach you to know how to deal with your situation when you're in a state whereby you feel so hurt and you are trying to avoid hurting someone else, but to actually deal with your emotions. So let's enlighten ourselves and find out more about that. It's wide, it's universal, it has no one language. Let's figure out, let's take that onto ourselves to figure out how to make ourselves better for others, okay? Accommodation is the key in this world.
Yeah.
Love and accommodation for each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that, Matilda. I like that. But if you're joining us for today, like it's your first time to listening to us, please don't forget to share, like, comment, and subscribe to all our socials. Facebook, it is Farouk2003. Twitter and Instagram, Farouk_Uganda, and then YouTube is Bakuya Togedi. She said what she said.
And FYI.